Welcome students. So, in the previous class we were talking about the budgeted income statement, and in this class now we will learn how to prepare the budgeted income statement or the budgeted profit and loss account. First we will calculate the gross profit, and then we will calculate the net profit, right. So, now how to prepare it? As I told you in the last class, in this case, say when you prepare it, we take only 5 items. First is we take here the sales. We will look at the sales value. So, we write here buy sales. So, how much is the total sales value for the 3 quarters? If you go back to the case information, if you sum it up, in the month of June, what are the total sales? $7 lakh, July 4 and August is the $4 lakh. So, total works out as $15 lakh, $1.5 million of the sales are done in this total quarter. Now, this statement will not be prepared month wise. This will be the summary of the total schedules we prepared month wise. So, we will take now as a gist of, as a summary of the total net result for the 3 months. So, what are the sales? Here it is $15 lakh. It is in the amount is dollars. So, you can call it as $15 lakh. This is the total amount, or you can call it as $1.5 million of the sales we are doing. Nothing is the closing stock. We are going to manufacture and sell worth rupees $15 lakh. So, no closing stock is there. I am not going to put any closing stock here. Now, with regard to this information to come on the debit side, I told you that we have to take 3 accounts, means 3 items: direct material, direct labor, direct overheads. But if you look at the case here, you are given one information here is, that is the average gross profit is 40%. Average gross profit is the 40%. It means gross profit is 40%. So, it means sum of the 3 things, that is the material, then is the labor, and the other overheads is 60%. So, we have to take it as in total. We are not given separate information with regard to material, labor and other overheads. We have to take it as a total. So, for taking it as a total amount, what we have to do here is, we have to write something, and that what we have to write here something is, when you write in total, sum total of the 3 things, you write here it as 2 COGS. COGS means cost of the goods to be sold. Sum total of material, labor and the other overheads. So, we are given that is 60% of the total value of the sales, because gross profit is 40%. So, what is the 60% is, that works out here as is the $9 lakhs, right. So, it is 9 lakhs. So, what is the gross profit here? 2 gross profit, which is given to us, gross profit is 6 lakhs, clear. We are given that is 60%. So, gross profit, sorry, 40%. So, 40% of 15 lakhs is 6 lakhs, 60% of 15 lakh is 60% of 15 lakhs is 9 lakhs. So, we are having the gross profit of 6 lakhs against the total sales of 15 lakhs. So, this is the gross profit, first part of the net profit. So, we directly do not arrive at the net operating profit, we arrive it in 2 steps. First is the gross profit, and then we have to find out the net profit. So, you now take it as the, because this is the positive balance. So, this will come this side by gross profit GP, and this is how much? 6 lakhs. If there is any other income available apart from the gross profit, you will add it up here on this side, but in this case nothing else is there. So, it means the maximum means the income, or the say inflow, or the revenue available is only the gross profit, and that is directly from the sales. So, there is no other source of indirect income. So, we are not putting anything else on the credit side of the lower part of the income statement. So, now come up to the debit side. Debit side, we have to take now these expenses, material, labor and other overheads are called as the direct expenses, and some other expenses are also there which need to be subtracted from the gross profit. They are known as the indirect expenses. Means direct expenses are those expenses without which the production you can't think of, production is not possible. But apart from the production expenses, you have to incur some other expenses also which are called as supportive expenses, and those expenses have to be taken in the lower part. Though without these expenses production will be possible, but taking the production from the place of production to the purchase of the sale, place of production to the place of sales will not be possible. For that what we have to do is, we will have to This provide for some other expenses, that is why they are called as indirect expenses. So, from the gross profit you have to subtract the indirect expenses also, and finally whatever is left with us is, that is the surplus of the gross profit against the indirect expenses, is called as the net operating profit. So, now from the schedules, again refer back to the schedules and you find out what are those indirect expenses. First head of those expenses was to salaries, wages and commission. That was the one head, and you take it at for the 3 months. If you take it at, means the total it up for the 3 months, how much it works out as? This is 3 lakhs. Total it up for the total 3 months, that works out as 3 lakhs. Then the other variable overheads, 2 other variable overheads, how much they are? Total it up for the 3, and this works out as 60,000. This amount works out as 60,000 other variable overheads or other variable expenses. This is 60,000. One more thing was given to us in the cases, that is the say depreciation amount, and here somewhere it is written in the case, if you read it carefully. Yes, assume that these variable and fixed expenses require cash disbursement each month. Depreciation is $2,500 monthly. It means how much is the depreciation total for the quarter? That is 2 depreciation, then this amount is how much? This is 25 into 3 is $7,500 is the depreciation amount, right. So, we have taken salary, wages and commission expenses, we have taken other variable overheads or expenses, we have taken depreciation 7,500, and now we have to take the other fixed expenses. 2 other fixed expenses. If you take the other fixed expenses, then what are these other fixed expenses? How much they were? $55,000 per month. So, for the 3 months, the quarter as a whole, they work out as 1,65,000. $1,65,000. These are the other fixed expenses, that is 55,000 per month into 3, $1,65,000. Out of means other than these 4 expenses, salary, wages and commission, other variable expenses, depreciation and other fixed expenses, what is left with us is one more expense is left, and that is the 2 interest expense. 2 interest expense, and that interest expense is how much? Now, I would say here it is 6180. I would call it as 6180. Now, you will find out why and how this 6180 has been calculated. How this 6180 has been calculated. So, now we have 2 figures. One figure is the figure of the interest which we have paid. How much interest we have paid? Actually, one interest we have paid here is, that is 3530 in the month of June, and one interest actually we have paid is 1530 in the month of 3530 in the month of July, and the second interest we have paid is 1530 in the month of August, but that is actual interest paid. This statement is prepared on the accrual basis, that on the total loan of $318,000, how much interest is due for the total period for which the funds are used. We have to find out that amount here, and that works out here is as 6180. And then how much is paid? Actually paid, we will have to find out the difference, how much was due, how much is paid, and the balance will be shown as interest outstanding in the balance sheet. So, I am saying here in this statement, that is independent of how much we have already paid and shown in the cash flow statement or in the cash budget. That has nothing to do here. First we will calculate is the interest due and the total borrowing of 318,000. How we have calculated this is, I will show here the calculation of this, and for showing the this calculation, that is how much loan was outstanding. Loan outstanding, for example, I write here loan outstanding for June and July. How much was this amount? This was 318,000. We borrowed, we used this money for the month of June, for the month of July, and part of the amount was paid in the month of July at the end of the July. So, how much was paid at the end of July? 212,000. So, what is the balance left? So, it means now the loan outstanding in August. How much was? That amount was $1,06,000. That was outstanding amount. So, it means if you calculate this amount, total interest you have to calculate here is for 318,000 for a period of 2 months at the rate of 10%, and on the balance of 106,000 for a period of how many months? For 1 month only and the rate of 10%. So, we have calculated this interest expense, you will call it as interest expense is this way we have calculated is, that is 318,000 into 2 by 12, 2 months we have used this money into 0.10, that is 10% plus. We have to take here now the another amount. How much is this? Balance amount of 106, $1,06,000 again for a how much month? 1 month only, that we are keeping this amount for 1 month, that is because 2 months we have paid on the whole amount, and 1,06,000 we are paying only for 1 month, that is due only for the month of August only, and this amount is only the balance left is 1,06,000 and for a period of 1 month at the rate of how much? Again that is at the rate of 10%. So, if you calculate this, this total amount works out as how much? This will be equal to $5,300 for this part, right, and plus we will have to find out, that is 880 for the second part. So, this total amount works out as how much? 6180, which is the interest due, and that I have taken here, that is the amount is the interest due is 6180, which is independent of the interest actually paid, which we have shown in the cash budget. We will adjust this finally. How much was due? This much was due. How much is paid? That much is paid. How much is the balance? Will be outstanding, that we will show in the balance sheet. So, this amount comes up here as now this. Now, you total it up. If you total it up, putting a diagonal line here, what is your total gross profit or the closing balance of this statement is 6 lakhs, right. Close it by 2 lines, again it is 6 lakhs, both the sides have to be equal to 6 lakhs. So, the difference is to net operating profit before tax. Net operating profit before tax, if you calculate this balance, it means 3 lakh, 3,60,000, 3,67,500 plus 1,65,000 and 6180. If you sum it up, these total figures subtracted from the 6 lakhs. So, how much you are left with this? With here is that the net operating profit before tax is 61,320. This amount is 61,320 is the net operating profit before tax. This is the total amount of the profit we have worked out, and this is the net result of the operating budget. The budgeted net operating profit before tax is $61,320, $61,320. This is the end of the operating budget. Now, we will go to the next statement and we will try to find out the or prepare something which is called as the budgeted balance sheet. Last statement we are going to prepare here is, that is the budgeted balance sheet, and with that we will be able to come to the end of the complete master budgeting process in this case or for this case. So, now I am preparing the budgeted balance sheet. Budgeted balance sheet. This balance sheet can also be prepared in two format. It can be prepared in the T format or it in the vertical format. I am preparing again for the simplicity and better understanding in the T format. So, we are taking here this way, this is a T format, right. So, here what we have to write is, that is the say budgeted balance sheet of this company for the quarter, that is for the quarter, that is beginning from month of June to the ending month of August. So, this is for the quarter of June to August. So, the budgeted balance sheet at the end of the quarter as at the end of August. Budgeted balance sheet as at the end of August. So, now you take the two columns. This side is called as liabilities and capital, and this is amount. This side is called as assets and this is amount, right. So, now we will start with the putting up the means the first we will start with the liabilities and capital. So, here we take it as the first of all owner's equity. Owner's equity. If you take here the owner's equity, owner's equity, you are given in the balance sheet. What is the owner's equity given in the balance sheet? You look at the owner's equity given in the balance sheet is how much? 5,11,000. So, this is owner's equity, put it in the inner column, do not take it to the outer column, 5,11,000 dollars. In this, now you have to add something which is called as add net operating profit. This is net operating profit before tax, and how much is the net operating profit before tax? We have calculated here is that amount is 61,320. We have to add it back up in the capital. So, 61,320. This amount works out as how much? This amount works out as 5,72,320, because profit, when it is not distributed as dividend to the shareholder, it is added back in the capital. So, your capital becomes now 5,72,320 is your capital now, because of the profitability the capital has appreciated. Now, after this capital you have to take now the other liabilities. So, other liabilities are what? One is the accounts payable. Accounts payable. Accounts payable will come from where? That is accounts payables will come from the purchase budget. How much we have purchased, how much we have to pay for the purchases, and how much is left to be paid yet. So, for example, our condition was that whatever we are purchasing equal to the next month's sales, and the cost was 60%. So, the next month is September, we have purchased in the month of August, which will be paid not in August, but in September. So, it means 3 lakhs purchases, that is 6% of that is 1,80,000 which we purchased in the month of August, but we have not paid for that. It means this is the accounts payable, and this amount is how much? 1,80,000, right. Others are loan payable. How much loan is left now? We have borrowed 3,18,000. How much we have returned till now? 2,12,000 plus 61,000. So, the balance of the loan payable is, that is 45,000 is the balance of the loan. Now, we will calculate the interest payable. How much interest is payable? Interest payable is 1120. 1120. How much we have paid? Total interest was, due interest was how much? 6180. How much we have paid? We have paid, one figure is 3530 and second figure is 1530. So, this much we have paid, these two things we have paid, this much was due. So, the balance is how much? That is 1120 is the balance which is still due, we have put it here, that is 1120 is the interest payable. Now, you come to this side, and if you come to this side you will find out here is the now the assets, because this side no other liabilities left now, all the liabilities we have taken into account. So, we are not left with anything. So, write the assets here. You are given the fixed assets. First of all, you have to take the fixed assets. If you take the fixed assets, go back to the case, how much fixed assets are given to us? We are given the fixed assets here somewhere, total assets. So, accounts receivable, furniture and fixtures is 1,68,000. So, if you talk about the total assets, you can call net furniture and fixtures, that is 1,68,000 are given to us. So, fixed assets are 1,68,000, put it here inner column, less depreciation. Less depreciation, how much is the depreciation? 7,500. So, how much is the balance of assets left? We are left with 1,60,500, right. This is the amount of assets, fixed assets we are left with after depreciation. Now, after the fixed assets we will come to the current assets. First current asset is the inventory. Those purchases we made in the month of August for meeting the requirement of the month of September, that is purchased but not used in the month of August. So, that is still inventory, and that inventory is how much? Worth rupees $180,000. This is the inventory with us. Then we have the accounts receivables, ARs. Accounts receivables, as we have the accounts payable here 1,80,000. Similarly, we have the accounts receivables also, because all the sales are not collected in the same quarter, some of the sales are left uncollected, which will be collected over the next months, and that amount of the sales which is made in the current quarter but not collected is called as, what we call it as, they are called as the accounts receivables because of the sales receivables. So, that amount works out as how much? $432,000. $432,000. These are the accounts receivables. Now, how we have calculated this figure? Let us now understand this. Accounts receivable 432,000. How we have calculated this accounts receivable? I will discuss with you here that, for example, July sales. From July sales, how much is the accounts receivable left with us? You would call it as 20% of 90% of July sales, right. So, 20% of 90% of the July sales is say you call it as that amount will work out as how much? 72,000. 20% of 90% of the. So, how much sales we are going to make in the month of July? For example, if you look at the case, the sales in the month of July are 4 lakh, and collection condition is what? Collection condition is 10% sales will be collected in the month of sales, that is we have already collected 10% of 4 lakhs, 40,000 we have already collected in the month of July. So, now we are left with the 90% of that 4 lakhs to be collected. So, out of this 80% of this will be collected in the next month, and then remaining amount will be collected in the say the next to next month. So, in this case, for example, in the month of July, if you talk about say how much is left to be collected, that is only 20% of the say we again look at the condition. Cash sales are 10%. So, it means what are the credit sales in the month of July? Credit sales in the month of July are 4 lakhs. Out of this, the condition given to us is credit accounts are collected 80% in the following month of sales and 20% in the say you call it as the in the following month. So, how much is now left to be collected in the month of July? That is 20% of the 90% of what amount? That is 4 lakhs. This amount is 4 lakhs, and that amount works out as $72,000. And in the August sales, from the August sales, what are the August sales? Again they are of the dollars, how much? 4 lakhs. So, how much is left to be collected? The amount to be collected is, you can call it as the 100% of 90% of this amount 4 lakhs. So, this works out as how much? 3,60,000. So, this total amount becomes $4,32,000. This amount we have shown here, this is the accounts receivable. Part of the July sales are collectible and part of the means this is accounts receivable. In the month of July, what is the accounts receivable left is 20% is the accounts receivable which is still not collected. So, distribution is in the month of July we are selling for 4 lakhs, 10% is collected in the month of July because that is cash sales. Now, you are left the 90% of the 4 lakhs, and out of that 90% of 4 lakhs 80% is to be collected in the month of August. So, that has already come in the sales collection. So, how much is still collectible? 20% by the end of till the end of this quarter, 20% is still collectible, that works out as the 20% of the 3,60,000, which is 90% of the 4 lakhs. This is 72,000. Out of the August sales, 10% are collected as cash sales, and remaining amount means 80% will come in the month of September of that 90%, and remaining 20% of that 90% will come in October. So, all 100% of the credit sales of 90%, that is 3,60,000 is left to be collected. So, this amount works out as 432,000. And finally, the last current asset is cash. How much is the cash balance? Go back to the cash budget. In the cash budget is given to you is how much that is? 25,940. That is a closing cash balance. So, if you sum up these two sides, you will find your balance sheet is balanced. This balance sheet is how much? 7,98,440. Then this is 7,98,440. If you total it up, you will work it out 0, 0, then it is 4, then it is 5 and 9, it is 4 again. So, total amount if you calculate is that will work out as 7,98,440, 98,440. So, this is now the final balance sheet which we have prepared, and this is the quarterly balance sheet. This is the as at the end of August, because August is the last month of the quarter. So, this is the quarterly balance sheet which is available with us. So, if you look at this entire process, if you backtrack now, what we have means where we started from while preparing this budget and where we have ended up is, we have ended up with the two statements. One is the budgeted income statement and the another is the budgeted balance sheet. I already told you that the master budget has two broad components. One is the operating budget, second is the financial budget. Operating budget, we start with the sales forecasting or forecasted sales, and then we prepare the different schedules on account of income from sales and expenses for generating those sales, means production expenses, and then we take them finally to the last statement which is called as a quarterly statement, and that statement is called as the budgeted profit and loss account or the budgeted income statement. Right. We prepared this budgeted income statement and we found out that the net result of this quarter was, for this company, for this store, is that they are ending up with the net surplus, net operating profit before tax for this quarter is with the $61,320,000. This is the end of the operating budget. Then we prepared simultaneously the other two statements. In the financial budget, as I told you in the theoretical discussion, that first component, first statement we prepare is, that is the cash budget. We prepared the cash budget for 3 months independently. We started with the opening budget of balance of the cash. Every month we ended up with the closing balance of the cash. So, for the 3 months we found out the opening balance of the cash, closing balance of the cash, and at the end of the quarter, means at the end of the last month of the quarter, that is August, the closing cash balance was how much? That was 25,940. 25,000 is the closing cash balance which we always keep as a safety stock, and that 940 was left with us as the surplus unused, partly in the month of July, partly in the month of August, and then closing cash balance of this quarter at the end of the August was 25,940. So, that total means all those figures were brought down to the balance sheet. So, revenue and expenses, they were accounted for in the budgeted income statement, and assets and liabilities were accounted for in the budgeted balance sheet. Finally, when we prepare the balance sheet, we put on the one side the capital and liabilities or the liabilities and capital, on the other side we put the assets, and when we found out that, say, on account of the liabilities and assets, finally we could find out that your balance sheet is the budgeted balance sheet, quarterly balance sheet is the balanced balance sheet. We are able to find out that some part is the owner's equity and say some total of the equity plus profit, and some are the other current liabilities which will be becoming due to be paid in the time to come. Against that we have the assets which include fixed assets on account of furniture and fixtures. We have current assets like inventory, accounts receivable and cash, and finally we found out that the closing cash balance is 7,98,440 and our balance sheet is balanced. So, now for every quarter, for every business, when this kind of the budget is ready, it remains communicated to the different sections, subsections, units and subunits in the organization. Everybody knows in advance that what is expected from them in the coming quarter. When the budget is there, when the standards are fixed, everybody knows that benchmark is given to them. Now, they have to perform according to this benchmark or this budget, and if anything goes more than this, ups and downs, then at the end of the quarter we will compare the actual performance with the budgeted performance, and then we will try to find out where are the variances, whether positive or negative variances, both will be analyzed, so that in the next quarter our performance comes up as budgeted, no variances take place or the minimum variances take place, and at the end of the year we are able to take the organization to the level, the firm to the level where we want to take it. So, budgeting is a very, very important management control tool, management decision making tool, and we are learning here. So, preparing the budget, learning about the preparation of the budget is one thing, but how to use the budget for the management decision making is the other thing, right. So, both of the things we have to keep in mind, and we have to finally learn about that budgeting or the budgetary exercise is a very, very important tool, very, very effective tool which can facilitate any kind of management decision making. So, I am ending up stopping with this case. Next time I will discuss one more case of this type, and we will try to learn again that in a little different set of situation how the budget can be prepared. So, that I will discuss with you one more case in the coming classes. Thank you very much.